we will all forever be mediocre, utterly mediocre. But if you want to at least feel as if you're kind of getting closer to your perceived definition of greatness, of perfection, I would heavily recommend following and improving on the 4 things that I'm going to speak about in this video, the 4 types of human mediocrity. Because yeah, of course, we'll always be mediocre, but if we want to not feel mediocre and not be seen as mediocre, there are a couple of things, of some very high leverage things that we can focus on. And I promise that if you at least follow one of the tips or go to one of the sources that I link in this video, that I reference in this video, I don't know if I'm going to be putting links down, you will be a better human being with a less mediocre life. I'm not saying your life is mediocre, but just as an idea for motivation, whatever. So the first type of human mediocrity is health mediocrity. It is the base of all things. It is mediocrity related to health. Now, I don't need to tell you what I have a decent video called the 3 pillars of health, which is basically talking about nutrition, sleep, and exercise. If you don't do those 3 things, it's very unlikely that you will actually enjoy the results of the other 3 types of human quality, mediocrity, the other 3 domains you can excel in. So you need to fix your sleep, fix your diet, and exercise like an hour every single day. Because if you don't, you're losing at the most fundamental part of life, the most primitive part of excellence, which is health. It is basically the only thing that we can control without going through intellectual, emotional pressure. Yeah, of course, we can go through emotional pressure and pain with diet and exercise and even sleeping. But it is just the base to all things. You can't do anything without having a solid foundation with the 3 pillars of health. And if you want to improve all 3 things, I would heavily recommend the god of longevity, the god of health, Bryan Johnson. You can find him here on YouTube. He has an amazing video about how to live longer in just like 9 minutes. And if you follow every single step, you'll probably live, I don't know, 10 years longer if you follow every single step pretty rigidly. But I will warn you that some of his ideology might seem a little bit extreme. You do not want to cheat death. That's definitely something you do not want to do. You can find other videos of mine talking about that subject, but you definitely do not want to do that. And of course, have some fun, some indulgences once in a while, because that is ultimately what makes life worth living. But Bryan Johnson is an amazing place to start. I love that guy. Second is social mediocrity, not being able to speak, not being able to hold a speech, read a poem without trembling, without shaking. It's not a good type of mediocrity to have, to be attached to. Because if you're not social, then nobody's actually going to know how good you are at those other 3 things. And I'm not telling you that you should only be striving to improve yourself because other people might notice it, but it is one of the great pleasures of life. Having people around you look at you and appreciating you. Not even maybe feeling a little bit envious, but still being able to at least fake a smile and tell you congratulations. This can also include romantic relationships, best friends, all of the things that are related to other people. And other people are probably going to be governing your life, the entirety of your life. Your partner is going to be the person that you spend the most time with. Your best friend is going to influence you like hell. They are going to influence you as much as a person can influence you. The relationship with your parents, the relationship with your sisters, brothers, is going to influence you for the entirety of your life. So you want to perfect that as soon as possible, or at least try to perfect it. And for references, I would I would recommend watching my latest video about how to not be an antisocial. It gives kind of a rough architecture of how to actually get into friend groups, how to infiltrate into friend groups. Maybe I'll leave a link into that and for that in the description. And the 2 book recommendations from that video were Jordan B. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. I have it here. I absolutely love this. It's so deep, it's so complex. It makes your mind feel as if it's hula hooping. I don't know how to say it. It's absolutely insane. I would recommend it to every single young man or woman that is trying to improve themselves. And of course, the classic How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, one of the first books I've ever read. When I ask people, what book do you think, ask my mother, what book do you think has changed me most? And she said How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And yeah, maybe I agree with her, even though Jordan B. Peterson's work is also a high contender. Then we have intellectual mediocrity, and this is my absolute favorite. It's all about language learning, skill learning, being able to code, being able to edit, doing all of those things. It's not about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a myth. You can see that in one of my most popular videos. I'm giving you references like crazy, but I have talked about these things, and if you want me to go more in depth, watch the videos I'm recommending. They might be half decent. Intellectual mediocrity. Now, my favorite thing to do in order to actually become smarter is, of course, read. Basically, every single thing that I'm recommending here, it goes back to reading and actually learning more about the subject. If you want to become a better speaker, a better friend, a better partner, you need to be better at interacting with people. You need to perfect social quality, not be socially mediocre. But one of my favorite things to do besides reading is learning French at the moment, and I want to learn a lot of languages in my lifetime, and I think it's going to be an absolutely bonkers experience. I'm going to have so much fun with it. I love language learning. I do not know how language learning will be when I get to harder languages, but I hope I will still be filled by that motivation. So, if you're a monolingual, if you only speak English, or if you're a Romanian, Spanish, French person, and you can't understand broken English, like the English I'm speaking now, maybe pick up on another really popular language. If you can really understand English all that well, learn English more profoundly. If you're a monolingual when it comes to English, well, the only 2 languages, I'll say 3 languages that people can laugh at you for not knowing are English, French, and Spanish. So get those 3 learned and mastered as soon as possible, because yeah, of course, maybe Elon Musk will create an AI computer. Jesus, God damn it! I'm not out of touch. I'm 14 years old. I should not be out of touch. An AI that can translate between any language in the world. But what happened with chess? Computers were able to do it perfectly, and it became 10 times more impressive to actually be able to play chess. So learn languages, because it's a great investment for the future. If it's impressive now, it's going to be very impressive in 2050. And of course, learn new skills, learn how to edit, learn botany. I learned botany. I love botany, learn biology, learn computer science, the things that are really high leverage. And for this, yeah, I'm not going to recommend any books. I recommend here languages. My favorite thing to do is learn languages, because I'm a more humanistic mind. I like social sciences, but if you're a more, I don't know, realistic mind, we have this difference in Romania, but if you're more with computer science, mathematics, the exact sciences, I would go for any of those and just have a blast. The last type of mediocrity, of human mediocrity, is career mediocrity. And I say career because I don't now want to say financial, because I am certainly not the person to be giving you a lecture on how to become rich. I barely make a cent a week. I don't even think I make that. So Do not take anything that I say about financial freedom and whatever seriously. But when it comes to career, you just want to find a goal, a value proposition. If you know what that is, you probably know what that is. Find a problem that you want to solve it, and the money will come, and the career is basically solved. I decided a couple of days ago, I want to solve the imminent decline of social sciences, because I think it would be a shame to stop learning languages, to stop studying psychology and stuff like that when computer science and mathematics are rising. I just want to let people know that the social sciences are just as important and we cannot live without them. So yeah, even though I don't make any money, I'm still kind of happy with my career, quote unquote, even though I literally have not even started high school. So and for references, I would recommend The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. Have it right here, and choose a goal. Choose a problem that you want to solve. So, to recap, health mediocrity, social mediocrity, intellectual mediocrity, and career mediocrity. These are the main 4 things that I would actually say make you mediocre if you're not good at them. And I say human mediocrity because when it's very noticeable when a person is not good at one of those 4 things. If they do not know how to speak, that's noticeable. If they do not sleep well, that's noticeable. If they do not speak, if they're a monolingual, that's very noticeable. If they do not have a fulfilling career, that is very noticeable. And I would recommend combining as many of the peaks of these facets of human quality as possible. For example, today I was working out in the park. I was doing chin-ups and exercise in a little exercise area. And I was speaking to people from the north of Spain in Spanish, and I introduced myself to them in Spanish. Spanish is like my second language, my native language, but whatever. The point still stands. I combined health with the exercise, intellectual prowess with the language, and also social prowess with actually having the guts to speak to somebody that I didn't even know before they entered the little zone I was in. So find what works for you, but I think these are just the 4 things that you really need to kind of be acquainted with if you want to become a virtuous, good, I don't want to say good, but impressive human being. And if you do the bare minimum, if you go to the sources that I referenced in this video, you will probably become a top 1% human in a year or 2. Do not expect it to come very quickly, and do not expect that being born every single day, and they are improving themselves, and they are becoming better and better and better every single day. So do that with all. So find what did I want to say? So find a way to be better, because it's just something that will give you infinite meaning in your life. The endless quest for perfection, because perfection is never going to be reachable. So if you want to join my little movement of reviving the social sciences and bringing everyone the joy of rhetoric, language learning, and actually speaking to people, the joy of speaking to people, subscribe to the channel and like this video. And don't forget, send this to someone you love. I'll see you later.